Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Ali. I'm a final year medical student at Cambridge University, and this is a series of videos where I've interviewed lots of my medical student friends and asked them to give you advice about the medicine application process. In this video, we're going to be talking about how to answer the common question of why medicine. I'll give you my take on it initially, and then we'll go through 7 tips on how to answer the question from various medical students, and then we'll run through 3 students giving answers to the question so you have an idea of what an interview answer looks like. And if you look in the description below, there'll be timestamps to all the tips and to the different mock interview answers. So if you want to skip ahead, feel free. If you want to share a particular bit of the video, again, you can reference the appropriate timestamp. So here's my take on why medicine. I don't really like it as a question. I think the interviewers know that everyone's going to prepare for it. And quite a lot of universities are actually not asking it anymore because they know that everyone's going to prepare for it, and therefore it kind of makes it a sort of useless question. I think the people who do well with why medicine are the ones who genuinely have a specific moment or series of moments that they can reference when talking about their desire to do medicine. So I've got a few friends who spent some time in Great Ormond Street when they were kids because of health problems, and that obviously contributed to their desire to do medicine, and they could talk about it really well, and their answers to why medicine are absolutely staggeringly really good. But equally, me and a lot of other people that I know, we didn't really have those kind of good reasons for doing medicine. We didn't really have any exposure to hospitals when we were younger, and the reason we want to do medicine is because we like science, we want to help people, like the idea of lifelong learning, it seems like a cool career. These kind of cliched answers that we kind of feel reluctant to talk about in an interview. And that's why I don't really like why medicine as a question. But, my feelings on it are pretty irrelevant because a lot of universities still ask why you want to be a doctor. So in answering that question, what I would say is don't worry about it too much. I'd like to think of it as equivalent to how was your journey here, which is a question they ask you because they want to get you into the, relax and into the swing of the interview. And if they ask you why medicine, they know that you've prepared an answer for it, and that's absolutely fine. And it's okay if you give a cliched answer. If you have something better, something genuinely specific to you, that will sound good in terms of why you want to be a doctor, then great, go for that. But if not, I wouldn't worry about it too much. And in fact, if you're in the position where you're just, giving a cliched answer, I would suggest kind of stopping this video right now and not worrying about it, because, this is quite a long video. We've got lots of advice about how to answer this question. But I think the way to think about it is to not think about it too much, because it doesn't really matter that much. So, yeah. But having said that, I know a lot of you are still going to be concerned about it. So now we're going to roll through 7 tips on how to answer the question from various different medical students. So that should hopefully give you some ideas. And then at the end, we'll do 3 mock interviews with different medical students again about how they would answer the question. So yeah, let's roll through the 7 tips, timestamps to everything down below, and I'll see you in just a moment.
So I think number 1 is be prepared. You kind of know that question is likely going to come up. So jot a few ideas down, talk to lots of people, talk to your teachers, friends, family, and write down a couple of points. But I'd say probably don't write down a paragraph that you're going to recite. Yeah. Write down a few points that you're going to talk around.
Yeah, definitely. The worst thing you want to do is sort of come off as you just wrote an entire paragraph about how you want to save the world and how you want to contribute to science and like the balance of art and science, and you kind of want to just really go in, have the main point, and then talk about it and be able to talk about it just because you're so passionate about it. Yeah. And I think that really shows through when you don't rehearse it too much.
One of the main things is to make sure that you're not making your answer up and that it actually applies to you specifically, because there's a huge number of reasons why people do choose to do medicine, and actually you will have a reason why you've gone through all of this application process, why you've put yourself through trying to get really good grades. So think about what that reason is for you personally. But then there's also all of the normal things that everyone does say and everyone probably should say. So if you're going to want to go into medicine, you must like science, you must like solving problems probably, you must like working in a team, working with other people. So there's lots of those things that will probably factor into your answer, but for everyone individually there's going to be their own specific reason. So it might have been that you've had a family member who you saw go through a difficult time in their health in the past. It could be that you've had difficult health problems, and try and think what actually from that experience taught you something, what you saw during that time that made you think, I want to be on that side rather than this side.
And I think one good thing that I did was I thought back to my work experience, or to that one moment where I thought, you know what, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life, and I talked about that moment, and I think that makes it personal and anecdotal and unique and kind of almost quite real, as opposed to just a generic answer.
Yeah, and that's really good because it helps you stand out as well, because everyone's going to go in and say they're going to list reasons, and it just helps tie it all together when you can actually talk about a moment where you can think of those reasons.
Yeah, or a particular doctor that inspired you and what you liked about them.
The first thing I'd say is it is a question that's worth preparing for. I'm not sure how much importance they actually attribute to it, but it's often one of the first questions you get asked. And so if you give an answer that you feel confident with, it really does sort of make you feel more comfortable throughout the rest of the interview. Personally, I tried not to give too much of a cliched answer. I said that I enjoyed the sciences at school. I said I wanted a job where I could apply them and was constantly learning. It is a bit cliched, but if it's true for you, then I think that's all that's important. But everyone will have their own reason for wanting to do medicine. Ones that are worth avoiding include anything financial, anything about that's too saving lives and too perhaps a bit idealistic about it. But anything where it shows you have a realistic appreciation of what the career entails is probably not going to cause you too many problems.
So if you do just like science and want to help people, then yes, it's a generic answer, but it's always still unique to you. So what do you like about science? What particular area of helping people do you want to do? So if you've had experience in helping, neurologically disabled people, or a particular area that you want to help people in, just mention that. Just be specific. Make it unique to you.
Yeah, I mean, everyone has a list of generic reasons, but it's all about how you flesh it out and explain why do you like science, and what about it do you enjoy, how you think it can contribute to helping people, and putting your spin on it. Really, you just want to stand out and be different in your interview. So
yeah, absolutely. I think that in answering the question why medicine, the key objective which you want to find out is that you're not just in there for the wrong reasons, or that you have actually given some thought to the question. So as Ali probably said, it's okay to give cliched answers. It's most important that you speak from the heart, especially since you probably should have thought about this question before, since this is a very long journey that you'll be undertaking, and 6 years of study is quite a long time. So think about this question and answer it really from the heart.
It's obviously a classic, and people get really worried that it's going to be a really cliched, boring answer. I'd actually just say what you really mean, because that way you'll come across passionate and enthusiastic, and don't worry about it too much, because it's not the most important question to do well on, because they know that people are just going to have to give whatever comes to mind and won't sound very original. So don't worry about it. Say something that shows your passion, add in an anecdote or some other details to make it more original if you can, but yeah, don't worry about it too much.
Okay, so that was 7 tips about how to answer the why medicine question. I hope you found that useful. Now we're going to roll through myself, Kenny and Paul giving answers to the question. Paul and Kenny didn't know the question was coming up, so what they're saying is quite off the cuff. I knew the question was going to come up because I made the video, but I tried to be as natural as possible and answer the question how I would have answered it when applying for medicine, and also how I would answer it today if someone were to ask me why medicine, because we've got interviews coming up for jobs and so on. So yeah, let's run through these mock interviews and hope you find them useful. Honestly, the reason I want to do medicine is because I think it's a fantastic vocation that I would enjoy for the rest of my life. So from what I've heard of medicine and what I've seen on my work experience, it is kind of always changing, and there's always new stuff to learn. There's always kind of exams to take and things to keep on top of, new research coming out. And I really like that aspect of lifelong learning, because it means that the field won't stagnate. It means that I personally won't get bored with it. And secondly, I really like the human component of medicine. You're not just sitting in an office sitting on a computer. You're interacting with people on a daily basis, and as cliche as it sounds, you're genuinely making a difference in their lives. So it's the lifelong learning aspect, and the fact that you get involved very intimately with people. That's what attracts me to medicine.
I think my choice to do medicine wasn't a snap decision. It was a build-up of different decisions that accumulated in pointing towards this is what I want to do. So it started around GCSE, when I thought I wanted to do engineering, but I didn't actually get the grades for engineering. But it was quite a good thing, because at that time I started kind of looking inward and thinking about the skills that I had in myself. So for example, that's when I really started to get into human biology, because I'd always been a big fan of biology, but I think the thing that put me off of it was more the kind of ecology and plant-based things, and the human biology started getting more interesting, particularly at the start of year 12. So I thought, okay, yeah, biology, this is definitely right up my street. And just in general, I think I'm quite a people's person, so I always knew that I wanted to work directly with people in sort of any capacity. And in terms of what my personality is like, I feel like I'm quite a driven person, quite a proactive person. And in medicine, I think those are things that you need to be. So in terms of kind of transferable skills I already had, medicine started seeming a lot more attractive, and so I decided I was going to go on some work experience. And when I eventually got my work experience, it definitely solidified it for me. I thought, this is absolutely right up my street, and from there, that's when I decided I was going to pursue a career in medicine.
For myself, I think that medicine brings together a couple of things which are quite important to me. It provides a challenge, and when I say it provides a challenge, I mean that it demands that you know your stuff, such that patients can trust you, the advice which you give. So you need to be very good on your knowledge. You also need to be very good at communicating with people, because so much about medicine is the personal interaction. And also, if you go into a field which requires you to do procedures, you need to be good with your hands as well. So as you can see, it's very multi-dimensional. It brings together a lot of different skill sets and requires competence and a high level of excellence at all of them. So that's why I find it challenging and a good career choice for me. Yeah, that's why I'm interested in it.
Okay, so that brings us to the end of the video. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you found it useful. That was 7 tips on how to answer why medicine, and then 3 examples of what an answer looks like. A thing to say about all of these interview questions is that there's really no wrong or right answer. I mean, apart from the obvious stuff that, that would make you come across as like a bad person, you can pretty much answer the question however you want. And as you'll see from the tips, there are some students who think that, it's really good to stand out while giving this answer. And then there are others, like me, who think that it doesn't matter if you're a bit cliched. Who cares? They don't really care about the question anyway. So yeah, I hope this has given you a fairly broad perspective about how to answer the question. If you have any questions or anything at all, please leave a comment down below, and me or one of my friends will get back to you as soon as we can. And yeah, if you liked the video, please leave it a thumbs up. If you'd like to subscribe to the channel to see more videos like this coming up, or to see videos of me vlogging about life as a final year medic, then please hit the subscribe button, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.